how soon is too soon to start dating after a divorce?
Ooh, good question. Tell me about your world, man.
Well, about a year and a half ago, my wife went to live with her folks to take care of her mom. And then about half a year ago, she decided she wanted a divorce. And there was some stuff on my end, some pornography addiction and some other things that I worked on and tried to save the marriage, and but in the end, she went ahead with a divorce. And
what were the other things on your end?
I hesitate to say financially abusive, but whenever we would get a tax refund, the first year that we were married, first 2 years we were married, she spent the tax refunds before I had a chance to have any input. And then ever since then, I would spend them without taking any input from her. And I would justify that because, she spent those 2 tax refunds. So now these other 12 I've spent.
How did you share finances?
And we did full, just all in on keeping everything together.
Okay. Where else did you say this is mine and this is yours? You did that with your fantasy life, and you did that with tax refund checks. Where else did you do that?
I would say that, it was kind of the house was not so much me, but on her end, she the house was always hers, and I didn't really get much of a say in what was, hey, I need a trash can here. Can I have that? No, I don't want that trash can there.
Yeah.
What about like that?
When she moved to go take care of her parents, how often did you see each other? How often did y'all talk?
We talked every day, but we'd see each other maybe twice a month.
Okay. Were those just conjugal visits, or were they high fives, then you just go back home?
Sometimes conjugal. Tried to when we were able to. We had 5 kids, so they wasn't always able to do that even. But when we were able to, I'd try to make it a date and spend some time together.
Where are your kids?
They live with her now.
How old are they?
They are 11, 10, 9, 7, and 6.
Golly. How far away are you?
I'm on the other side of town.
Okay, but you're in the same community?
Yeah.
Okay. And all these questions I'm asking, they're serving a purpose, and here's where I'm headed with them. Often people are divorced for years before the paperwork is final. And so there's not a good standard stamp answer to how long after a divorce is finalized is it smart or safe to start dating, because it's so context dependent. And the way you're painting it, and you and I could probably talk over a couple of drinks there in Oklahoma City for a couple of hours, like it sounds like y'all have been roommates for a long time. And when you're roommates, this is mine, this is yours, you did this, oh, well, I'm going to do this. And there's scorekeeping, and I did the dishes on Friday, and you owe me $4.28 for the Arby's meal that one time. Like, right, when there's that kind of, like, my buddy George Campbell said, it's like when couples start Venmoing each other, right? Y'all are roommates, because that's what me and my roommates did in college. And so when you're there, and then somebody takes off, and you throw 5 kids into the mix, under 11, right? You can't survive that if you are not completely unified in a singular purpose on we're building something together. So my suggestion would be, or just in 2 seconds of hearing you talk, is you've been living a separate life for a long time. Y'all come together to make kids, and at the same time, it sounds like, and tell me if I'm bonkers, when she just called and said, "Hey, I'm not coming home on a divorce," you didn't really see that coming?
Didn't.
Okay. So how long ago? 6 months ago, about right now, when she said, "I'm filing"?
Yeah.
How long were you married, man?
14 years.
My gut tells me you're still walking around the house after the tornado, just sitting in the damage of a house that's been completely blown over. And you're trying to see, like, I can save this pot holder. This guitar still was in a case. It's okay. Here's a few photo albums. But, like, you're still walking around a completely wiped out house. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And something else that you said that raises an eyebrow for me is when she made this announcement, you went into try to save it mode, which means 6 months later, you may be sitting at your house right now on the phone with me, really beating yourself up for quote unquote what you did to blow up this house. Or that somehow this is all your fault. You don't get to see your kids every night because this is all your fault.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely where I'm at.
Can I just tell you, man, I wouldn't wish where you are on my worst enemy in the world. I'm sorry, dude.
Thank you.
I know that doesn't bring her back. It doesn't bring your kids bouncing through the house back. And you never thought you would miss all the noise in the house, right? And now that house gets death, or your apartment or wherever you're living gets really, really quiet at night, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
I'm sorry, man. So tell me about what you're thinking with dating.
Well, I'm definitely looking not to make the same mistakes that I did in my marriage, and I'm just I'm looking for a companion, a wife, somebody that I can walk with the Lord with.
My fear for you, brother, is you're doing probably what I would do, which is the very overly masculine one tool in the toolkit response, which is this. You're going to go fix this. You're going to fix you. You're going to fix a future marriage. You just need, it's kind of like you're at the YMCA and a team just came in and wiped your team out, just crushed y'all. And you immediately, you're like, I'm not going home like this. Let's run it back with another team. I got to get back out on the court right now. And if you do that before you sit down with your team and say, hey, why did we get beat so bad? And we got to work on our shots and we got to work on passing. We got to learn a few plays. The tendency is I want to fix this right now. I want to stop hurting so bad. And you quickly tell yourself a story. Oh, what will make me not hurt is a companion, a wife, a chance to run this thing back. Because now I've got my pornography problem licked. Now I'm never going to say this is mine and that's yours. I'm not going to do that again. Let's go. And most of the time I see that happen, I see people run right back into the exact same brick wall they just got a concussion from.
Okay.
Does that sound right? Or do I sound crazy? It sounds like you're really staggeringly and I completely understand it. It sounds like you are staggeringly lonely.
Yeah, I'm definitely lonely.
Yeah. Here's what I hate on two ends. I hate for you the thought of you, just a good guy, just sitting at home. I hate the thought of you just being at home in a quiet house by yourself every evening. And I hate when you get to see your kids, you suddenly have to perform. You don't get to just be with them with your shoulders dropped. It has to be a show now. I hate that for you and I hate that for them. And on the other side, I would hate to see you 2 years down the road dating and trying to fill that void with another person. But the same demons are still haunting you. And so the demons I'm concerned about are beneath the pornography, beneath the what must be true for me to feel alive in my own skin, in my own house. In a house with 5 rambunctious bananas kids, with a wife who doesn't look the same, who's tired, who's exhausted, but we're all on the same team. That we don't keep score together, that you're able to hear feedback and criticism and go forward and, right, you don't, those same demons are going to haunt you wherever you go.
Yeah.
So all I have to say is my dream for you would be that, like, and I learned this from the Dr. Young who trained me. I would love for you to say, I'm not going to jump into anything for 6 months to a year after the smoke clears. And I don't think the smoke has cleared yet. What I would love you to do, though, is get a group of guys that y'all commit to going fishing every Saturday. Or you'll never hear me recommend this again, but go play golf. Go play pickleball. I don't know what you're into. Go bowling. Go do silly stuff, but fill the void with real relationships with men, with guys that you can finally practice being yourself. You've never been allowed to fully be yourself. And fully being yourself wasn't always great, right? So you have to have guys that call you out. An exhausted mom of 4 who's pregnant with number 5 just may not have the energy to fight you when she finds out you just spent the $2,000 on a TV or a golf club or whatever you spend the tax return on. A buddy for sure will, right?
I do have a group that I get together with on Tuesdays to go shooting.
Awesome. That's fantastic. After y'all go shooting, I want to challenge you for the next 60 days, the next 2 months, to have the courage to say, hey, we're watching whatever fights, whatever game, whatever's going on at my house or at the local Wild Wings or whatever. I'm getting the first round or I'm buying the first round of wings. I'd love to invite y'all to come. And several guys can be like, no, I got family, I got this, but a couple will show up. I would challenge you to do that and begin exhaling and learning that you're not the worst person who's ever lived. And it took 2 people to tango in the marriage you had. And you've got to learn to forgive yourself and you've got to learn to exhale. In short, the Twitter statement here is, become a guy through action that you deeply respect. And then that gives a new romantic partner something to anchor into when you meet. Otherwise, you're using somebody else to feel better, and that makes you a parasite. That makes you like a vampire. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes good sense.
Is there anything about you, and this is just you being vulnerable, anything about you that you don't respect? I've got several things with me. What about you?
Yeah, definitely.
Rattle them off. Say a couple out loud.
Early in my marriage to my wife, I had forced myself on her at one point.
Okay.
And I have trouble respecting myself from that.
Still haunts you?
Yeah.
Have you sought forgiveness and to make that right with her?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you, with that lingering fear of yourself, that lingering, you can't trust yourself, 15 years later, 14 years later, that's a place where I want you to spend some time working on it. Because every time you feel like something's going well, that little demon's going to pop up and say, yeah, but one time, years ago, you did this.
Yeah.
My dream for you, brother, is you find forgiveness for yourself, peace for yourself through a community of men who will hold you accountable. You'll have fun with, you'll laugh with, you'll learn things with, you'll do silly things with. And from there, you become a man that you respect, which then in turn, you're not expecting somebody else to fill that gap for you. You're able to show up for somebody whole, and then they can anchor in, and now y'all are off to the races.